All right, guys, we're gonna try this again.
There's a few things here that I want to try and tie together.
I'm already getting issues with the stream. My last stream died because my phone overheated.
As we know,
So we're live again now.
as we know, Canada, we have some problems.
Guys, share this particular stream. I was just streaming for over an hour, and the stream went down because the phone overheated. But I am back.
By gender, by religion,
Good. How are you?
and by politics.
All right. All right. We got 62 people tuned in now. That's good. The old stream died. We're going again now.
Think that we might fix up the house.
The actual the reason for that is because the phone overheated. Never seen that one before, but the iPhone was really, really hot. So hopefully this doesn't happen again,
They know it
but
or
we'll see.
not. Whether you're on the left or the right or in the center, wherever, these problems affect
Something keeps popping up on my phone saying it's going to call 911
your skin color,
emergency, and then I have to click
which church
stop.
you attend.
There, it happened again. They're messing with my phone or what? Watch this, Kev.
So what are these common
So I'm
problems
live
we
now.
all
Here, let me
face?
turn the camera
Not
around.
always
Every
easy
now and
to
then it just goes to this thing where it's like going to call 911 in 5, 4, 3, and you have to hit stop. Look.
All the crap.
Is that okay?
No, yeah, that's cool.
I don't know how to do the selfies. I'm not very good at it.
In this building that has been going
There.
on
Yeah, sure.
decades,
This is the man.
that they don't even try and hide it anymore.
Thank
Cool.
you kindly, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
We have government-controlled media.
All right,
Hell
guys.
of a channel, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very specific narrative.
Guys, if you're just tuning in now, we're here in Ottawa, Canada, at Parliament Hill for a protest. I was streaming it earlier, and the stream went down because my phone died from overheating, but we're back. So please share this stream. Get this one out there now. Let people know we are back. And hopefully the phone doesn't overheat again.
This system that wants to consolidate control globally.
Go back there.
Every government, the media, the entertainment industries, our education, our industries,
Yeah, not bad.
our banking, and our very freedom of speech is under direct attack. And we've been seeing this more and more in the last few weeks. Something extremely ironic here.
It seems like the bulk of the protests didn't come back.
Yeah, and disperse.
Yeah. Nice.
Some of these things seem like they're separate, but the very
So we, if you were tuned into my earlier stream, you'll know we were following a really large crowd, and they were marching back to Parliament Hill, but it's pretty sparse here, so I'm not sure if they made it back yet.
Natural man cannot understand the reason of God.
Is there any shade anywhere?
And wherever the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. God set you free from this world. Hallelujah.
There's,
Our place is in worship is in heaven.
there's David Endes.
Of heaven. Hallelujah. We're just passing through. We're called to be disciples of glory. Hallelujah. So Canada, you need to confirm your citizenship with Christ.
Maybe we'll talk to him about his recent Antifa attack.
Here.
Right, exactly.
I feel bad for the man. I do. Jesus, he puts himself in a lot of
We're
pain.
called to be a workmanship unto good works. Hallelujah. Some people might say have faith. Some say I might have works. You work by your faith.
God's a gift or something.
As the body is dead without the spirit, so is your faith without works is dead, the Bible says. So it's about to lift up Christ. We've come out to
All right, we'll talk to him later. We'll go interview him later. He's recently attacked by Antifa as well, surrounded by a mob. But we'll go catch him in a little bit. Hi.
Hey, Peter, what's up, Canada? Good to see you.
And yeah, for sure. Nice to see you.
I thought you were taller from your videos, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I actually feel good for him.
A lot of people say that when they meet me. They say, "Gosh, I thought you were taller." Yeah, I shoot the low angles on purpose.
It's important that you submit to
Maybe we'll. No. I'll head back up. Maybe I'll try to interview.
Mind if I contribute a little bit?
Oh, for sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you very
That's all I
much.
got, so.
Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I know it's tough times, so anything is very appreciated.
No, I get
Yeah.
it. I get it.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah.
you, though.
Thank you.
I really enjoy watching you and very informative. And,
Yeah,
you know,
appreciate it.
Damn, it's
Yeah.
a scary world to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
You know, it's easier being quiet, you know.
yeah.
But good luck in your venture, my friend.
Thank you. Okay, guys, if you're just tuning in, we're here in Parliament Hill in Ottawa. We were streaming earlier, but the stream went down, so now we're back.
Hey, you're all the way from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, I'm Shauna.
Shauna.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
You're part of the shutdown in Vancouver. That's awesome.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
very inspiring. We're watching you and keeping track. So
Right on.
yeah, so I was part of the Toronto and the lockdown. So
You were part of the Toronto and the lockdown?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that on camera? Yeah, so she was part of the Toronto lockdown. Tell us about
And
how
the lockdown.
And the lockdown, of course. Yeah, not the lockdown. Yeah, and the lockdown. How did that come about? You getting involved with that?
well, it was one person who just went out and put up posters and started it.
Yeah.
But it came from inspiration from the United States and then from Vancouver, and then it was like, why isn't Toronto doing anything?
Yeah.
You know, do I have to do everything?
Yeah, I know exactly. And why did you feel you wanted to take it upon yourself to get involved in something like that?
It was just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's inhumane. It goes against all the laws of nature. It stunk.
Yeah.
There was no proof. It was making policy based on theory, and I don't think that that's acceptable.
Yeah.
And based on fear.
Yeah, totally. And flat out lies even.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, keep up
Yes,
the great
thank
work.
you. I'm glad I met you.
Yeah, awesome. Nice to meet
Happy
you.
Canada Day.
You too. All right. Been meeting a lot of great people here. So we gotta get away from this guy. He's too loud.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Is the great physician, and he will heal you because he's healed me. He's healed us. He's healed many. God is great intervention.
I want to interview this guy. Guy with the mic.
Marijuana for a night. You might have a little pleasure at the
Watch all your videos.
Awesome. Thank you.
You don't have peace of God.
I can't do it on this side of that flame though. So I'm gonna grab an interview with David Mennies here when he walks by, but I want to stay away from the flame because it's really hot and windy.
And snow.
And it's hard to hear anything beside this guy. But he's going to be surrounded by people right now. So yeah, we'll get a quick impromptu interview here with David Mennies as soon as he comes over.
God bless you.
Can I give you something quick?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, neat. Thank you very much. Feels heavy. Appreciate it. All right, he's kind of being bombarded right now, obviously. Hi.
Julie from Vancouver.
Oh, hey. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Can I ambush the ambush when you get a time?
Yeah.
If you got a second.
Sure, yeah.
You're right.
I'm just going to grab this one real quick.
Yeah.
But let me see if we can speak to him.
Don!
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, Canada Day here at Parliament Hill in Ottawa. I see David Mendes up there from Rebel Media, and he recently was also surrounded by
and I have been on Canadian soil for the last 23 years.
All right, I'm gonna get away from
I am a
that.
stateless LGBT rebel refugee who has been without status for 23 years. But today I'm not here for my...
Yeah, but I want to interview this guy, but not around that speaker.
I'm here to speak about my brother who has been on Canadian soil for the last...
Whenever you're ready, Dan.
Okay, just
No,
give me a
whenever you're
sec.
ready. I'll stay nearby.
Okay.
Film when he's filming it, something worth cutting.
Hey David, Dan Dix here from Press for Truth. Yeah, I just wanted to get you a quick statement on your. Maybe we can move away from the flames a little bit.
Good idea.
So you recently had quite the interaction with some Antifa kind of black bloc faction types, and you were surrounded by essentially a mob who were attacking you. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, what's happened is that in Nathanville Square, which is literally the seat of municipal government in Toronto, there has been this autonomous city set up, much like the one in Seattle, but they've outdone the Seattle people because they are literally, like I said, at City Hall, and they've added in the element of this being a sacred circle. So, in other words, it is untouchable. And the real problem, I think, is not that there are bad people afoot. It was ever lost since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
The real villain is the mayor of Toronto, John Tory, has taken the knee. The barbarians have invaded the gates.
Right.
They've taken over a public square, and he has told the police to stand down.
Right.
He has made their occupation comfortable by providing them with city-operated porta potties. And thirdly, he has sicked City Hall police on us for the heinous crime of practicing journalism.
Right.
So the world is completely upside down. And I think that as the warm weather continues, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And the only solution, because I don't see any kind of testicular fortitude being embraced by John Tory, is that maybe when winter comes, these people will leave and civility will once again return to the public square.
Appreciate it.
Who is that guy?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. Where was it? Who is that?
All right, guys. So that was just a quick little interview with David Mendes. If you didn't know, he's from Rebel Media, and he was recently also attacked by Antifa. And no, it's good to see them here covering this, not letting the Antifa faction shake them down. So I keep having issues with my stream. Hopefully we're back. I think we're back.
Different city.
All right, you want to do this now? All right.
Yeah, just say hi. We got a bunch of fans at our church who want to say hi to you.
Okay, cool. I'm live streaming on YouTube.
Okay,
That's cool. I'm going to do a quick interview, guys. All right.
All right, so hey, I'm with. I'm over here. So just stay close because this is the on board. This is the.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm here with Dan Dix, and Dan Dix, of course, we got a bunch of fans on our channel, on our church even. I mean, you're like one of our heroes. I wanted to say a big thank you to you, and thanks for coming across the country. I know Dan is with Press for Truth, and he is an advocate / journalist, and we appreciate him coming across the country to be part of this rally. What are your impressions so far of the rally, Dan? You think there's as many people as you expected?
There's more than I expected, actually. It's quite a big crowd, I would say, and everything has remained peaceful, calm. I've met a lot of great people here today, so it seems that it's a great crowd. I heard there were some Antifa types showing up, but I haven't seen anything like that. So
no chance of getting beaten up this time?
No, hopefully not. No, I've got too many
bruises.
So yeah. So
he took one for the team, that's for sure. A couple.
Yes, indeed. It was intense. Yeah.
Do you think that when they say when emotions are high, intelligence is low?
Right.
That certainly wasn't the case when your emotions were high in that particular situation when the cops arrested you. But do you think you would have handled it any differently now that your wits are more about you?
I don't know that I would handle it differently. I mean,
would you have tried to resist the arrests maybe more aggressively than you did?
No, I don't think so. I'm just a kind of a calm guy by nature. It's not in me to get aggressive, really. So I think the way it played out is kind of how it would play out again if it happened again. I would assume, yeah.
Great. Now, Dan, if I can ask some things just to get to know you on a personal level, we see you on a professional level. That's awesome, of course. But our folks would like to know, now, do you have a Christian testimony? I know I talked to you briefly on your channel about that. I know you do.
Yeah.
Maybe, is there a brief one you can give us? We're a Baptist church here.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a Christian home. I wasn't forced to go to church or anything like that, but I did. But by the time I was in high school, I decided to go elsewhere. I wasn't interested in that anymore. And throughout my teenage years and early 20s, I kind of moved away from the church, but my life started completely falling apart. Everything was getting worse and worse and worse. And when I started getting into Press for Truth and researching the things I do and realizing that these elitists are into the occult and these secret societies and this stuff, and I started getting back into the Bible. And the more I started to get back into my relationship with Christ, the better my life started to get. And I realized, I have to get back to my roots and reconnect with my Creator. So that's what I did, and accepted Christ in my life, and everything has just obviously been exponentially better ever since.
And complicated.
Yeah, well, no, it's never an easy road. It's never an easy walk. There's always going to be difficulties, but as long as we're doing our best to walk that straight and narrow path, He's going to make sure we're all right.
Amen. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for
so
talking to us today. I appreciate it. By the way, you're married now. You got kids yet?
Not yet.
Anything coming?
Working on it.
Working on it. You know how?
How?
Yeah, you know how it works, don't you?
Yeah, I'm on it.
You're
Yeah.
a church kid after all. I don't know they talk about that.
True. Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm aware.
Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
See you.
The guy is trying to call me, so I should go see what he wants. Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's too hot. Will you it's too hot.
I might need the water bottle to cool my phone down too. So the organizer's calling me, so I think they want me to go give a speech or something.
We'll go back to the
Take a quick picture.
Yeah, my daughter won some of your videos at a bar about 8 years ago as a door
neat.
prize.
Oh, wow,
in
neat. I
Ottawa.
remember that.
So we took pictures of that years ago. That
Okay.
was before you're married and all of that. Congratulations, by the
Yeah,
way.
thank you. Hang on. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd get a quick picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
no
And I'm
problem.
sorry to see what's going on in Vancouver. That's
Yeah.
some BS going
I
down.
know.
The misunderstanding of these kids.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The reasoning is. Yeah, anyways, you do great work.
Thank you.
We're following that somewhere. Karen.
Yeah, true. Thanks. Hi. Oh, hi. Cool, thanks. Oh, awesome.
Nothing, and in fact, it creates a world of more problems. Because guess what? We cannot run this entire country on wind power and solar power. That is asinine. How are we going to? It's if you try and wrap your mind around.
Okay, guys, just a heads up. I'm having some issues with the stream. Keeps kind of cutting in and out. Doing it again.
We have every day for upwards of an hour.
Oh, I think I know why. I think I was on the buttons. Okay, I think we're okay now.
I love your ad.
All right, let's go to the front.
Power weather before many times. I've been up in plus 40 weather many times, fracking and inspecting and doing all kinds of different things that the companies that I work for do. And all of it goes so that we can heat our homes and enjoy the level of comfort that we have in this amazing country. I was on a frack once. The field next to where we were fracking, the poor farmer's baler caught on fire. So what did we do? Well, our fire unit drove around and put the fire out. Saved the man, I don't know how much money.
I couldn't answer my phone.
It was an amazing thing.
Yeah, no worries.
All the farmers coming around for miles and miles and miles because they saw the smoke.
Oh, okay.
And how relieved they were that
What's
we
that?
were there.
Would you want to go next, or should I?
Yeah, you can do it next if you want. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
sure.
was something else.
Independent journalist extraordinaire. 200. How
You
many
have to make
thousand?
life and death
270.
decisions some days.
Okay.
You're
Anything
doing
else to
your job.
mention?
And I really take it personally. When
you have little leftist pipsqueaks
And will like,
who
do
think
you want me
they
to
know
hand
what
that
they're
off to
talking
me, or like,
about
what do you want?
No, I'll give this
when
to my
it comes
brother.
to developing
okay.
our resources,
And it's going to.
and they just want to shut it down.
spot over here.
They are so
So,
ungrateful.
I'm gonna
It makes
go
me
on next.
sick.
Just throw that in your pocket.
So it's time we start being honest with
Remember,
each other. But it's also time that we're honest with ourselves.
No, one or one. Yeah.
When I was a boy,
And you gotta hit
a good
stop
family
and then
friend
put
of
it in,
ours
and then it should come back.
told me something that I've thought about many times over the last 25
All right, guys,
plus
they've
years.
asked that I
He said
give
to
a
me,
few
Greg,
words. So
what are the
give it a shot.
fundamental values that you have and that you fight for? And at the time, it didn't really resonate with me. I didn't quite understand what he was talking about. But as I get older, that question that I keep asking myself gains more and more importance.
Anything you want me to tease about? What
So we have a decision to make
I don't
here
even know
as
what I-
Canadians.
Okay. So I'm going to talk.
We have to make a choice right now,
Independent creators.
this very minute,
Perfect. Yeah.
to stand up and fight for what we believe in. And not only do that, but to get involved. We have limited time. We have limited resources. And there is a freight train coming down the tracks at us. So do we stand for hate,
it's not flipping on.
lies,
Only when you flip the camera. No,
servitude,
it keeps happening.
disgrace, division? Or do we actually stand for equality? And love? And truth? And freedom? And honor? And unity? It's that simple, everyone. It's that simple. You make the choice right now. Do we stand for these things unconditionally, regardless of our race, our gender, our religion, and the political party we support? Because if we don't, then what the hell are we doing here? Every thought, every word, every action must represent those values that we stand up for. We cannot fight with hate. We cannot fight hate with hate or violence with violence. And I've seen so much of that in the last however long. It has been unreal what I have seen. But if every single one of us can make that choice,
The Vietnam vet just wanted.
we can stand together
You're doing
in
a great
unity.
job. And,
And we can take
Tell
care
him.
of these things. So
oh, the Vietnam vet just.
there are many solutions to our problems. I'm not identifying solutions here. I'm identifying our common problems. And we have several different solutions that we can employ.
I don't know what that is.
But before we can talk about solutions, we have to be willing to do three things. And I want you to all think about this.
So yeah, it's.
And I want you, more importantly, when you go back home to your cities and provinces, I want you to talk about these things with your family and your friends and your coworkers and your neighbors and your strangers in your communities who you don't know. Number one, we need to stop trusting the mainstream media and our government. Because they lie and lie and lie. Number two, we need to start listening to each other and thinking for ourselves. Number three, we need to focus on the root of our problems and not on the problems that affect us all individually, like race, gender, religion, and politics. The face of which is the UN Sustainable Development Agenda. Now, there are mostly good things in the United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda. I don't want to say that they're all bad, because we should take care of our environment. We should take care of our poorer citizens that need our help. There are so many things in that agenda that we must do. But the shiny, friendly mask on that beast of the United Nations is something that we need to recognize. And we also need to recognize that we can accomplish these things on our own as a country, as provinces, and as communities. if we can unite behind our core values of love, truth, equality, and freedom, and work to solve our common disputes, and put aside all of our differences, we will solve our problems, and the smaller problems will solve themselves. We need to come together and unite as a country in this effort. Thank you very much. God bless Canada. God bless all of you. Give it up for Greg Scott, ladies and gentlemen. Covered a lot of ground there.
No, here's good. You get the crowd.
You know, sometimes it can be hard, guys. It can feel like everything is against us, like everyone is against us. I hear you, man. I hear you. But when it comes down to it, as an individual, as a Canadian individual, you have so much power. And it can be scary to use your voice. But look around you. We don't see the mainstream media anywhere. But what do you see? You see independent creators. Let's give it up for the independent creators out there. There's so many to list. And yeah, I mean, I could list them all day. Personally, I kind of discovered different stories, different narratives that was actually going on online. And I connected with different people online. And we were speaking up and using our voices. Just a quick anecdote. You know, a guy named Derek Rance. I don't know if you've heard of him, but shout out to Derek Rance.
Never heard
And yeah, I don't know. He kind of gave me a leg up on YouTube, and it was a very touching thing because he's just a regular Canadian guy.
That's this guy right
Just like
here.
Fraser was saying, he should be in a canoe somewhere fishing. Okay?
I love that
But we
man.
saw what was going on in our country, and we decided to do something about it. Out of all these independent creators, or people who are thinking about it, you can do it. It's as simple as hitting record, starting a channel, and being consistent. But our next speaker is someone who has done this to great success. Over 200 and some thousand subscribers on YouTube. I don't know the specifics of it, like an official business or what, but independent media works. It can work. You can make it work. But without further ado, let me introduce Dan Dix.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. This is really awesome to be in our nation's capital here with so many amazing, like-minded people. I've really been meeting a lot of great people today, and it's been awesome. I wish, to be honest, that we were here in full celebration today, but really, as you know, 2020 hasn't exactly given us a whole heck of a lot to celebrate about, and our Canadian government is not giving us a whole heck of a lot to celebrate about. And that is largely due to the fact that, I don't know if you guys are aware, that our Canadian political system was actually infiltrated by an SJW. He's also a trans rights activist, and he happens to be a feminist as well, but he worked his way all the way up to the top to become Prime Minister of this country. His dad might have had something to do with it, I don't know, but he's an SJW who got in there, and he underwent a cultural Marxist revolution throughout the education system that has affected his ideology, and it's now starting to permeate throughout society in ways we probably couldn't have even imagined. I mean, how many people here today, on Canada Day, a day when we would sing the national anthem, how many of you wanted the government to change the lyrics from an all of us command, an all our sons command, to an all of us command? Did any of you guys want that? No. This government is constantly doing what the Canadian people don't want. Look at when COVID-19 came around and we had this tyrannical government running the show. COVID-19 didn't shut down the economy. The pandemic did not destroy small and medium-sized businesses, guys. The Canadian government is the one who's responsible for and going against our civil liberties. And, you know, Canadians are fed up with it. And in the midst of all this happening, we have this uprising against the police on a global scale. And I understand that. I really do. I made a documentary film about the Canadian police state. Some of you may have heard of it. Into the Fire. Have you heard of that one? it documents the Canadian police state in great lengths. And now we're starting to see it show up on our doorstep. So when I did that in 2010, and I saw a complete obliteration of our civil liberties and freedoms, I never would have imagined that just 10 years later, it would be happening, but even worse now. And it's to the point now where, I don't know if you saw it just a few weeks ago, I was at a Black Lives Matter rally covering the protests, and I was surrounded by a group of a couple hundred Antifa, and they assaulted me, and the police arrested me after that. Is that the kind of Canada you guys want? So, I guess the question is, what do we do? I mean, society has undergone, as I say, a cultural Marxist revolution through multiple generations through the education system. So I think what we're going to need to do is educate our friends and our family about the importance of embracing individual freedoms and individual liberties over this collectivist mindset. And we're going to have to do it at great lengths through multiple generations. And in fact, we need more people on our side at this point. So I would say, go make some babies, everybody. We need more like-minded people like us to be able to combat this current issue. So if we want to move towards a more freedom-loving world, that's what we need to do. So educate your friends and family about the importance of denying this collectivism mindset, this cultural Marxist revolution that is taking place in Canada. We got to talk about the importance of individual freedoms and liberties and embracing that if we ever want to have any hope of moving forward with Canada in any kind of a good direction moving forward. So that's the message I wanted to bring to you guys today. Embrace true freedom and individual liberties and reject this BS collectivist mindset. Thanks so much.
All right, everybody, you heard Dan. Let's get some thumbs up for that speech.
Give it up for Dan Dick! Yeah!
I got a drink of water.
You know, it's no secret. You have two options. That's what they say. You either vote for the Liberals or you vote for the Conservatives, one or the other. Sounds like a pretty broken system to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm good. No. Thanks.
But guess what?
You feel me now?
There are other options out there, and there are other people out there. And I mean, despite what a lot of politicians will say,
I'm the Buckhorn Grandma.
we care about the economy.
Prime Minister 3 years ago.
It doesn't look like it.
Awesome. Very good.
You think it looks like it, guys? No, not at all. And although at this podium today on Canada Day, we've selected speakers to be as non-partisan as possible, but in the crowd we happen to have an individual from an alternative party who is doing his best to make change happen. And that is the leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada, Tim Moen. Give it up for Tim Moen, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Oh man, well thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Mark, for inviting me to this. It shows your commitment to free speech that you'll let me speak here today. So I really appreciate that. And is it just me or is it really hot here? You know, my day job is I'm a firefighter, and I kind of feel like I'm in my turnout gear in a burning building right now. I got to keep fighting this fire. And normally I fight the mindlessly destructive force called fire and chaos. My day job, but today I'm here to fight this mindlessly destructive force, government. And so I welcome, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Now, I was a little worried that the term libertarian might turn some of you off. We always get confused with the liberals, and the way I describe it to people is liberty is the root word in the name libertarian, and lie is the root word in the name liberal. We're the exact opposite, okay? So don't get the two twisted, don't get us confused. And I'm here in part because Mark invited me, but I'm also here because a sleeping giant is waking up right now. Am I right? Yeah. That warms the cockles of my heart. You guys might know me as the guy in 2015 when I ran for Prime Minister who popularized the phrase, "I want gay married couples to protect their marijuana plants with guns." I'm upgrading that to AR-15s now, by the way. And by the way, Dan Dix, I give all the gratitude to him. He was the first, there he is. He was the first guy to interview me. Mainstream media wouldn't touch me. Dan Dix, Press for Truth, has been on the front lines forever, and I'm very grateful to him for that and for giving me that opportunity. opportunity. That led to the Rebel News picking me up, and that led to other things. And the mainstream media even picking me up and spreading fake news about me, which I also appreciated. So that's why I'm here. I'm here because you guys have been deemed non-essential. You've had your livelihoods destroyed. You can't pay your bills or keep your lights on. And that's true of many Canadians right now. The government's taken away your ability to put nutritious food on your family's table. They made it nearly impossible to save up for your old age. They basically prohibited you from accessing all the things that lead to a long, healthy, happy life. So how's that for public health? Sucks, doesn't it? Now, while this is all going on, the central banks are robbing your buying power by printing up limitless money to bail out banks and giant politically connected corporations. These are the same corporations that are getting all your customers now that your small and medium-sized business has been obliterated. These are the same banks that are getting the deed to your house and land when you can't pay the mortgage because your ability to make a living has been obliterated. What we are witnessing right now, ladies and gentlemen, here today is an unprecedented wealth transfer from you, the working classes, to the elites, to the oligarchs, to the SNC Lavalins of the world, to all those who are connected to political power. And at the same time, we're seeing an unprecedented wealth transfer from us to them. We're seeing an unprecedented power transfer from the people to the government. Now, if you think they're just going to hand us back our freedoms, you've got another thing coming. I mean, the income tax was implemented as a temporary tax to pay for World War I. We all now accept it as part of the new normal, right? Who's talking about ending the income tax other than us crazy libertarians? As Thomas Sowell once said, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. And the irony here, folks, is that this is all done to protect your life and save your life. Do you guys feel protected? No! Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, by the way, they're sending you the bill for all this.
Of course.
That's right, they've broken your legs, and now they're giving you these feeble crutches in the form of CERB checks. And they're expecting a big thank you in return. Who do you think's going to pay for this? Any working class Canadian, that's who. Everyone here who pays taxes. And not just the people that pay taxes, that's the immediate, obvious thing. Every Canadian is going to pay this through the invisible tax called inflation. 2 years from now, when you're paying twice as much for groceries, but you're making the same income, that's going to be you paying for what's happening right now. They're robbing our buying power. That is as much a robbing of your wealth as a tax is.
Great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, consider yourself indentured servants. Your children and your grandchildren will not be inheriting your wealth. That's going to the elites. Instead, your children and grandchildren will be inheriting perpetual servitude to your masters. Now, I haven't heard a single peep about this from the official opposition. Has anyone opposed from the CPC opposed this lockdown at all? No. Now, the truth is, actually, we've been indentured servants for a long time. Canada, at all levels of government, is currently on the hook for $4.1 trillion in unfunded liabilities. That's $250,000 that you got to pay for each taxpayer. I don't remember consenting to this. That number's going up, by the way, likely to closer to $5 trillion thanks to this lockdown.
Yep.
I don't ever remember consenting to this. I mean, I can't rack up a bunch of debt and then make you guys pay for it. In fact, if any one of us behaved like the government's behaving, we'd rightfully be locked in jail right now. If you try central banking, you'll be locked away for counterfeiting money. Yeah. If you try taxing someone, you'll get locked away for armed robbery, and rightfully so. If you issue a fine to someone for their speech, you'll also be charged with armed robbery. If you try to ban guns, you'll be charged with uttering threats and be locked away. If in the process of confiscating guns, you have to shoot a resistant gun owner, you'll be charged with murder. We would rightfully be charged with criminals, yet the government can do this and get away with it and never be charged. In fact, a lot of people actually thank them for engaging in this criminality and applaud it. Now, as a libertarian, I believe the proper role of government is to protect the individual from trespass, theft, assault, rape, and murder, from aggression. In theory, we delegate this right to the government, yet whenever we defend ourselves from criminals, we're charged by our very own government. Ian Thomas, Frank Meseros, Edward Maurice in Alberta. These are just 3 individuals in a long list of people whose lives have been ruined by persecution from our legal system for the crime of defending their property with a gun. And now we have Trudeau and his posse arbitrarily banning guns that look a certain way and make them feel icky. He's doing this from his castle while he has Parliament here shut down. Boy, oh boy, he wasn't kidding when he said he admired China's basic dictatorship, did he? Ladies and gentlemen, I propose to you that the battle lines are not left versus right. Both the right and the left have betrayed us and stripped us of our liberties, our sovereignty, our wealth. I would even put to you that the battle isn't really between globalism and nationalism. There are some nationalists who want to put a jackboot on our neck just like the globalists do. I don't think none of the nationalists here do, but there are some out there. The real political battle I would put to you, ladies and gentlemen, is between authoritarians and libertarians. The authoritarians want the government to impose their agenda on you. The libertarians just want to be left the hell alone. Now, there are enemies of liberty on both the right and the left, and there are also good people as well. Are they libertarian or are they authoritarian? That's how you know the line between good and bad. All right? And that, my friends, is where the real battle is. And that's why you're all here today. You're not here for a government handout. You're not here to demand the government do something. You're here to demand that the government leave us the hell alone. All right. So I want to leave you with this. How do we do that? How do we get the government to leave us alone? First, we have to identify the problem. Now, this might not be a popular thing to say, but I would argue that the root of the problem is not Justin Trudeau. Now, in reality, he's just a perpetual frat boy living his best life. I can't even be mad at the kid. Congrats on all your success. I mean, he didn't seize power in a military coup, did he? Here's the uncomfortable fact, ladies and gentlemen. He was chosen by our countrymen to run this country. Let me repeat that so you didn't miss it. He was chosen by your countrymen, your neighbors, to run this country. Now, if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, I don't know what will. The truth is, and it's sad to say that because this crowd is the exception, but most of your countrymen don't want liberty. They want the government. They want a government that benefits them at your expense. They're authoritarians. And so Andrew Breitbart was right. Government is downstream from culture. Unfortunately, until we have a culture that embraces liberty, we will not see the kind of Canada that you and I want to see. Now, I wish the task ahead of us was as easy as voting for me or Maxime Bernier or another party. And don't get me wrong, I want your vote. But voting isn't going to change culture. The only thing that will change culture is you creating more libertarians. And it's a grind. It might be a multi-generational grind, as Dan Dix pointed out. It might be a long grind. It's work. There's no easy answer. You can't get away, ladies and gentlemen, with just going to the voting booth and thinking that your job is done and that you've done something productive. If you want to be part of changing culture, you have to be able to persuade authoritarians, your neighbors, to become libertarians, to be people that embrace liberty rather than authoritarianism. That when they feel afraid, they don't go begging the government to save them from their own fear and anxiety. The most effective way to do this, in my mind, and I appreciated that some of the other speakers touched on the same thing, is to hate the sin but love the sinner. We cannot hate our fellow Canadians just because they're possessed by a bad ideology. All right? And so we can't call people names like libtard and snowflake and expect to make any progress. In fact, that's a strategy for losing and sabotaging your own cause, in my opinion. What we need to do is study. We need to get good at rational debate. We need to debate ideas. We need to learn to connect with people's concern and show them how liberty addresses that concern. You're worried about climate catastrophe? Here's how we can solve that without communism and without carbon taxes. Are you worried about a migrant crisis? Here's how we can solve that problem with less government rather than more government. Are you worried about gun violence or drug abuse? Here's how liberty helps that problem. That's what we have to do. We have to create more liberties by connecting with people. Now, if this isn't in your wheelhouse, you can support those of us that are. Myself, all the speakers here today, plenty of people out there in the audience. More and more people are waking up to the corruption we're seeing in the system, and there's never been a better time to connect people to the message of liberty. This crowd is an example of that. And guys, as Canadians, we are a diverse group of people across this nation, and we're all unified under one nation. And that unity is under threat right now. The bigger government grows, the more divided we become. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. We can all live together in peace, prosperity, and collaboration, but we can only do this on a foundation of liberty. Mr. Trudeau, tear down that wall. Thank you.
Thanks, Tinmo. Great words.
Freedom is essential! Freedom is essential! Freedom is essential!
So just one little quick word here. So when we were organizing this event,
Hey, man.
there was a lot of
Some guy over there
detractors,
just keeps
a lot
talking.
of drama.
I know, I hear him.
It takes a lot to put all this together, and there's a lot of stress involved. And part of that stress is our expression of freedom will get us in trouble. And trust me, I know all about getting into trouble for expressing my freedom. But I also recognize that when we started to plan this thing, we weren't going to get permitted to do it. They were not going to give us permission to come here, especially during the pandemic. And I said, screw you, this ain't yours. This is ours. And we'll decide if we are coming or not. So we did. Now that doesn't mean there wasn't some negotiations. And I want to give some kudos to the Parliamentary Protection Services that we worked with. And there was some negotiations, I won't get into it, but we did very well in those negotiations, and they ended up working with us. They gave us electricity, they gave us access, they helped us make this happen. So I want to give kudos to the PPS. And on that note, I also want to expand this a little bit, just in terms of all of our first responders that put their ass on the line with this whole narrative of defending the police. It's hogwash. In order for freedom to reign, you have to have a certain amount of laws. Are there issues? Yes, there are. I was in law enforcement for 25 years. I get it. There are issues. But on a vast majority, these guys in uniform, in their dark blue uniforms, sweating to death, because we're here, expose themselves to a lot. So just remember that we had 2 sets of fireworks go off, obviously not approved, obviously could be somewhat of a security or a safety concern for everybody that's here. So please no more fireworks in this area, or, it might not end well, and I don't want to see that. So please, I get it, it's Canada Day, let's just do your fireworks wherever it is you do it, don't do it here. Thanks.
Thanks again, Mark. Give it up for Tim Moen again as well. Keep it going. I just had to apply sunscreen, and you should do the same, because I didn't do it early enough in the day by any means. This is, can you hear those bells?
I don't know about you. You're red too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
There shouldn't be any bells going right now. No. Thankfully, we got the bigger speakers. And you know what? This is a grassroots thing, just like any protest. And our next speaker has run many, many protests recently because she recognizes the lockdown for what it is, taking our freedoms away. I'm going to get right into her, Kelly Ann Wolf.
How's it going, Canada? I can't hear you. A little bit louder, just a little bit louder. Apparently you can take the girl out the country, but you you can't take the country out the girl. So I represent a whole bunch of different grassroots organizations, and we have been in Toronto at Queen's Park for the last 10 weeks, in the hundreds, protesting against these tyrannical, ridiculous, and absolutely unnecessary restrictions on our economy, our well-being, our health, and our lives. And most importantly, our children. We have two main initiatives in association with a national movement which is called The Line. Can I hear the line out there? And those two initiatives are Hugs Over Masks, where we supply the public with absolute factual education in order to protect your rights, your charter rights, your constitutional rights, and overall your freedom. So we have met with virologists, we have met with professors, we have met with the real experts, and as far as it goes for these top doctors, if they are not licensed in virology, they are committing malpractice. They are not qualified to talk about a virus. Our other initiative is the Back to Work initiative. I don't know, some of you might be familiar with Chris Sky, from Queen's Park. And he has put together an amazing program that he will explain shortly to get everybody back to work regardless of these restrictions, so that we can keep our economy strong, keep our families strong, keep our country strong. Because why? We are... I can't hear you. Canadian! That's right. So without further ado, I'm going to have Vlad Sobolab come up here with the Huts for Masks and take a few minutes and tell you all about it.
Hello, Ottawa! We're gonna get a cooler so people in the back can see us. Hello, Ottawa! Happy Canada Day, everybody! I'm so happy to
All right, guys,
be
if
here.
you're just tuning in, we're here in
There's a
Ottawa,
bunch of people
Canada
from
for
across
Parliament
Canada,
Day.
And if there was one
Hey,
day,
how's it going?
one day that the whole country
Cool.
can come together and
man.
celebrate our
awesome.
freedom,
Thank you.
our
Appreciate it.
opportunities of this
Good to see
country.
you.
Here is Canada Day, and that's why we're here today. Yes or yes? Yeah!
Again, it's
my pleasure to speak
Canada
here.
Day here at
I'll get
Parliament
right
Hill,
to the point.
and
Hugs Over Masks is an initiative I started about 3 months ago.
just here documenting the event,
It obviously talks about
filming everything. It's been pretty interesting. A few speeches were going on, and now there's it's starting to spread, kind of slow down a little. I'll show you.
Again. He doesn't care about the people. Everyone who voted for Doug Ford voted for him to be for the people. And if nothing else, actions show what you represent. Actions show what you stand for. You can
Hey, how's it going?
God bless you, man.
I
love your work, man.
Awesome, appreciate it.
You get anybody buggy today?
No, it's been relatively calm. Yeah, nothing, no problems today.
Good, man.
So yeah,
Keep up the good work, bro.
Appreciate it.
Nobody got sick. We organized children to come together to play.
So yeah, as I was saying, Canada Day protest here. They didn't get a permit, but they decided to just go ahead and do it anyways, which is a good thing. There's Tim Mullen, good speech. Yeah, hey. Yeah, no doubt. So that's Tim Mullen. He's the leader of the Libertarian Party of Canada. Just gave a good speech. I gave a little talk too. If you'd go back on the stream if you want to check it out.
Get your PDF file. Talk to the print shop in your area. I have one person in Toronto that prints them at cost. I get 5,000 $120 each, and we distribute them every single week. Connect with somebody, email me, get your copy. It has this flyer. Doesn't necessarily work every time, but this is a
So we currently have 756 people tuned in with only 500 thumbs up. That doesn't add up. Click that like button, guys. Click the thumbs up button. Let's get that up to 750 thumbs up.
education campaign nationwide, so we can educate people. Because guess what we have on our side? We have the truth on our side. Yes, we have.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, for sure. Seems to be winding down a little bit, but spreading out. Yeah, it's very, very hot. Very hot. Yeah.
Now there's a bit of a breeze, just that cloud.
The cloud is so nice. Yeah, I know.
So please look out for that that email.
Okay, yeah.
And I'll send you my phone number. Maybe we can chat just a little bit further, maybe to do a bit of an expose, start to open that
for
to
sure.
people's minds more. I sent you a video watching this.
Okay, I'll check it out. All right,
okay.
Cool, appreciate it. It's nice to be back in Ontario, here at our nation's capital. Hi. Thank you. Man, I'm meeting so many people here. It's incredible. So many awesome people here. Just, it's so nice to be surrounded by like-minded people every now and then.
Now, if you don't know, please research. It's called blue zones around the world. If you don't know, blue zones where people live well past 100 years old, healthy and vibrant. Now, guess what was one prominent ingredient in all those blue zones? It was not necessarily nutrition. It was not necessarily.
Things are dying down a bit. It's getting kind of. I'm hurting, man. My feet, hungry, got a headache. We need to take a break. We'll have a bite to eat or something. Let's eat those granola bars.
I don't know if we have them.
You didn't bring them?
I didn't grab them. Did you? I grabbed everything else except.
I'll be honest, we're contemplating on taking a slight break because we haven't eaten yet. It's been incredibly long day of marching and under the hot, hot sun on our feet, live streaming. No food yet. So may have to go grab a bite. Interview Mark Friesen. Yes, we will definitely do that. I might not do it on the live stream. I'm thinking I'll do it separately and upload it like tomorrow. But yes, we will absolutely get an interview in with Mark for sure. And maybe Laura Lynn, maybe Tim Moen, maybe a few of the other speakers. Derek Rance is here, another YouTuber. There's a few guys I'm going to interview.
Thank you.
Somebody says, eat and have a beer, Dan. That sounds pretty good.
I like that guy.
Yeah, my brother agrees.
We have a mass confusion in this country, and that confusion has to do with words. Words are the most important part of civilization. Because the words that we use define the laws that keep the peace among such a vast array of different
This is probably going to be over, Kevin, like an hour or something. Might have to just.
And that's what makes a democracy. When words are manipulated and you don't understand the definitions, it is very easy to get you to support something you never would. Pay attention to the words your politicians use. Define
Thanks for
them.
hitting that like button, guys.
Define them for what they
Really
actually
appreciate it.
mean. And then think twice about what you support.
If you guys support my efforts here and you'd like to financially contribute, please check the links in the description. I've been completely demonetized. My live streams used to get super chats, but I can't get them anymore. So if you'd like to contribute to my efforts here, to come out to the other side of the country to stream this for you, please consider checking the links in the description if you want to contribute.
And with that, I'm going to bring up Chris Sky. And
There you go. Hello, everybody. I'm Chris Sky. Some of you know me. Some of you don't know me. Guys, we're in big trouble.
I'm going to need to get off it.
We are facing the biggest crisis our country has faced in its entirety of its existence.
Thanks for the sandwich, by the way.
I'm not talking about COVID. I'm talking about our government. Government loves the phrase, never let a good crisis go to waste. You understand that government, not COVID, created this crisis today. You understand that the loss of our freedoms, all our rights, the ability to go to work, and then trying to micromanage every aspect.
Again, we're just taking a little step back from the crowd because it's really, really hot in the thick of it. And there's no shade anywhere, but at least there's a bit more of a breeze over here. So normally I'd be a lot closer to the speakers, but whew, it's hot and muggy in there. Let me tell you, it's almost 30 degrees here today.
They smile the first thing you think of is freedom.
Hey.
Still filming or what?
Yeah, streaming, live streaming.
Excellent.
Freedom of choice for the people.
So, yeah, Into the Fire. My friend Greg just watched that. He watched Into the Fire like a month or weeks ago with my girlfriend to kind of wake her up.
Oh, really?
Really effective documentary, even 10 years later.
Yeah, cool.
So effective.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I just lent him, it was a Turning Point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real good one too.
Yeah, right on.
You have any more coming down the pike or what?
Nothing like fully in the works right now, but some potential things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the government and their
It's good though. Documentaries, you know, following InfoWars for a long time. I really missed it. They stopped doing documentaries.
Yeah, I know.
Like they had some real good ones.
You know, they hired me to do all the like B-roll for the Obama Deception Part 2.
Okay, yeah.
And then they never released it.
I know.
They sent me on like a 7-city tour, and then they brought me down to the InfoWars studio in Austin to edit for 3 days. And then I was really excited to see what they're going to do, and then they never released it. That's when they just stopped making films. Oh well.
Yeah, and, you know, it's kind of sad too, like when you saw how they went big into social media, which I think was great and everything. But the one thing I'm really disappointed with them is like the whole Trump attaching to Trump. It's like, because you know what's funny is like once you do that, you enter cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I thought it was like two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird.
And he's been preaching that for a decade, and then it's like, well, all of a sudden you think that Trump just destroyed the false left-right paradigm? Like, come on.
Do you know another interesting thing I observed though? It's like once he attached to Trump, and Trump, you know, became known as like, oh, a thing.
Yeah.
He stepped into the arena of left-right politics,
exactly.
and then got destroyed.
Yep.
You know, and obviously he's not destroyed in the sense like but that's when he became fair game for all sorts of lawsuits. Basically, he gets stripped down all over the place.
Yeah.
So, you know, I still think they do a ton of great stuff, but it's just that Trump cognitive dissonance. I'm just like,
it's very, very disappointing to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You know, Trump is not Bernier. Trump is not Mo.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
He's as big a socialist as, or bigger than Obama as a socialist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And not to mention all the Trump on the campaign trail is very different than Trump in office.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's two different.
Yeah.
Just so many things that it's like, what?
Yeah.
I know NATO. I said NATO's irrelevant, but now they're not.
Yeah.
Just like,
I know.
Here we go.
Yeah. Hillary going to jail, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all.
Yeah.
You know. And then, of course, the military-industrial complex. Now you got in with big pharma.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. Like, you looked into like Moderna, the RNA vaccines, and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Is a symbol of slavery.
Like that's really crazy when you consider
it's a symbol of oppression.
That RNA vaccine. They're going to declare Eureka on that in probably a couple months, right?
Yeah.
And comply with the first dictate.
It could be a long, cold winter for us here in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It's going to be an interesting one, man.
Followed by the digital ID.
Especially with this second wave they keep talking about, which we'll see. But I should get back to my live stream. I'm watching the numbers just dropping down because I'm like ignoring them.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
This is to sign up to an anonymous network. I meet them personally.
Hey guys.
I go over the release. I try to make the release and I don't leave
see a few people dropping from the stream, so I was like, uh-oh, I better get back to doing what I'm doing here. I have a lot of people who are kind of wanting to meet me and talk to me today.
Any government bylaw officer
now, let's see. We got not many people left. A few little sparse groups here and there.
Why are we doing this?
And
because, like I said, to combat fear, we need the truth.
maybe we'll go around a little bit and do some interviews or something. But
we also need courage.
It's starting to quiet down here quite a bit, guys. May call it for a day. What do you think? I'm pretty tired. Been going all day. Still going to do a few interviews with some of the main speakers. Yes, definitely going to interview the speakers.
And you know they're planning.
But I don't think I'll do it on this live stream. I think I'll do it as separate individual videos to be uploaded later. So stay tuned for that, guys. Grab a bottle and come back, somebody says, get some food. Maybe I'll do that. Go take a quick little break, refresh, have some water, have some food, get some shade, come back, and if there's you know, anything eventful going on, we'll start streaming again. But yeah, it's been a long one so far. Everybody says, go get food, go get food. Yeah, I'm ready to pass out if I don't. I mean, we're under the hot sun, 30 degrees, marching, live streaming. It's not easy. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very happy to be here, guys. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it for now. I mean, we've been streaming for, I think, 4 hours between the multiple streams. I had a stream earlier cut out because because of my phone overheating. So then I started another one. But hey, Economic Truth, good to see you, bro.
That's absolutely ridiculous. To make matters worse, she's the one that went on record saying that our opening time is going to take until 2021. And
Steph said, great job with the speech. Thank you. Glad you liked it. Hadn't really rehearsed much. I thought of a couple of things to say and just winged it.
2012.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to have to go get food, or I'm just going to be completely useless. So
You know it can't be a coincidence.
thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, for joining me, for being with me here today. Canada Day in our nation's capital. Flew out here yesterday, flying back home tomorrow. Just wanted to get this out to you guys, let you know that these people here are not afraid of the government to tell them that they can't come and peacefully assemble with one another, because they know that's their constitutional right, so they're doing it. So I thought that was something that was interesting enough for me to fly out here and document the event, live stream it, conduct a number of interviews that I still have to do, which I'll upload on my channel very soon. So stay tuned for that, guys. Got more work to do. Gonna go do some interviews now. Well, gonna go get some food, take a little break, and then we'll get some interviews and put those out tomorrow. So thank you so much, everybody. It's been a great day. It's been we had a good couple of streams. It's been really an eventful day. Met a lot of great people. Guys, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this type of information, I'd ask that you please do check us out in the description below to where you can financially contribute. As you know, Google has completely demonetized my channel. They're financially attacking me in many ways. They've terminated my my GoFundMe campaigns. So it's been brutal, but I'm still going to continue to press for truth no matter what. So if that's something you guys appreciate, want to pitch in on that, again, please check the links in the description below to find out how you can financially support my efforts here at Press for Truth, guys. So I'm going to call it for now. It's been a long day. I'm very hot, hungry, tired. We're going to go take a quick break. I'll live stream again if anything interesting happens, but other than that, that's all for today, my friends. Thank you again so much. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being loyal subscribers, and you take care. Peace out, everybody. Keep fighting the good fight.